Hey everyone, this is Sheriff Tim Carter, the Shenandoah County Sheriff, and today I have with me the Transportation Supervisor of Shenandoah County Public School System, Lucas Long. Thanks for being with us here today.
Thank you, Sheriff Carter, for having me.
And also, as another guest, we have with us Sergeant Whitney Mauck. Whitney is the supervisor of the Shenandoah County Sheriff's Office School Resource Officer Program here in the county. Thanks, Whitney, for taking a few minutes of your time to come in.
Thank you, Sheriff.
Today we're going to talk a little bit about, it's my understanding schools are trying to open up a little bit more, have more in-person or more attendance with kids coming back on Monday. I think it's Monday the 22nd of March. So from a school transportation perspective, what are some of the challenges that you and your team have faced this year so far?
Yes, to highlight a few, bus capacity and transportation requests themselves, as well as constantly changing ridership and then having insufficient substitutes to support our full-time routes.
Right. Well, now, when Monday comes, and we've been, maybe I'm using the wrong terms, but we've been in the COVID or the old way of thinking or bus schedule, and now we're going to go to the new on Monday. Is there any difference between what people will see, parents will see, Monday morning as far as school bus schedules or transportation?
As far as bus routes, they have seen more changes this year than over a measurable amount of years placed together, and this is mainly due to the fluctuation of ridership and then traffic accommodations. Most buses will start earlier than what traditions would show, but we are still traveling to the same locations, generally speaking, and the extent of the route has not changed much. Most changes will be relative to capacity, time, and then the flexibility to student stops.
Do you need to call your school reference to the bus schedule? Is that something that a parent would do?
Yes, this year, if you would like transportation, you would have to call the school of which the child attends, make the request, and we've been able to serve most all requests at this time.
Okay. That's good to know. Can any child take the bus to school and return home?
Due to our environment and the challenges we face, students must request transportation each year, which is a change of years past, but we're working diligently to make those additions in a timely manner.
All right. Well, with COVID, Lucas, do children have to wear masks while they're on the school bus?
Yes, students and staff must wear face masks at all times in order to ride the school bus.
And how about social distancing? How many children are allowed on each seat on the bus?
So I'll start out by saying ideally we sit one student per seat with staggered seating. This places one student to the window, and then the next student behind will be towards the aisleway. This will maximize space between students. There will be times where you'll see two students per seat, although it's totally acceptable at any time to see siblings of the same household sitting together.
Right. Now, as far as pickup times at your house in the morning, is there a new schedule for that for parents? Should they expect the same pickup times at their home in the morning?
Parents and guardians will potentially see some variation in student pickup times as students are added to routes. We expect it, although, to be manageable and not affect all routes.
And as far as drop-off times, I know that people are in a schedule. They've been going through this for the last 7 months. Do you expect the same drop-off time at your house in the afternoon with Monday the 22nd? I keep calling it the new schedule. It's really not a new schedule. It's just the same schedule. You just might have more riders. But anyway, do you expect the same drop-off time at your home?
As far as all things considered, I think parents and guardians will see a potential variation in student drop-off times as students are added to routes, but yet, once again, I really think it's going to be manageable and not affect all the routes, because most of the time when students are added, they're already added to locations of stops that exist currently.
Okay. And where can a parent find the bus route information?
Sure. On the division website, Shenandoah County Public Schools, there's a link labeled Bus Routes on the left-hand column of the web page. Upon selecting that link, you may enter your address, and it will provide the nearest bus stop location, its bus number, and the approximate stop time. But if you have any questions, concerns, or have difficulty navigating the web page, you could feel free to call transportation, and we'll work you through it.
That's very helpful. I know, and I hope this doesn't happen, but if it does happen, What if no bus shows up at my house in the morning, or drives by to pick up my child? What would I do at that point?
Well, as soon as you can, please call transportation so we can assess the situation and work forward to provide the resolution. And once again, I'd like to say thank you to the parents and guardians out there for being flexible with that as we move through the year.
Okay. And I know earlier, Lucas, you said you mentioned school bus drivers. Are you guys hiring any new school bus drivers now, and where would a person apply for those positions?
So we're always hiring for substitute positions, and for those seeking full-time employment, that's where we fill those vacancies from, is from the substitute pool. Once again, you can always call transportation if you have questions, although through the division, through the human resources link, you can apply through an online application. But I'd be happy to help anybody through the process should they call in. We are experiencing some delays through the training as a result of DMV circumstances, but yet we're willing to work with anybody to get them through the process.
Yeah, DMV has been a bear.
It certainly has.
So, are there any changes or other things that I didn't ask you about that you may want to point out here while you're with us today?
Well, I would like to say I'd like to thank all the community, our staff, our students, to be at this point in this year, but looking previously to when this pandemic had started, I never would have anticipated the success that we've had and the community's support and understanding. It's been really appreciated as far as my standpoint and transportation to include the division as a whole.
All right. Well, thank you, Lucas. Whitney, I haven't asked you any questions. We've been on a roll here. Is there anything from a school resource officer perspective that we think we need to be pointing out to parents when this increased traffic occurs?
I'd just like to remind everybody that now that school will be going back on Monday, high schools and middle schools will have more students. So just be mindful of the foot traffic, especially when you come through towns in the morning. You'll probably have more students walking through the towns and on the campuses. So just be mindful of that. Also, SROs will be directing traffic. They'll be visible out there in the mornings and in the evenings, and everyone's just looking forward to seeing the students and the parents and welcoming everybody back.
Yeah, I tell you, I'll be glad to get a little bit more activity. I know it's difficult and creates a little bit more work for everybody, but I do enjoy that we're going to see more kids going back to school. And one of the things I want to make sure people are aware of is just be patient. These issues in the morning or issues in the afternoon at certain certain campuses can be a little frustrating as far as getting in and getting out. But do be patient with those officers and those school staff. They do a tremendous job getting that organized at all of the schools, quite frankly. Mm-hmm. And ask parents to please be patient and understanding as we getting back through that. Usually we do this back in August, but now we're doing it here in March, late March. Anything else, Whitney?
No, sir.
Okay. Well, again, I do want to make sure that our listeners know that we have an excellent relationship with the Shenandoah County Public School System. Lucas, thank you so much for being with us here today. And Whitney, thank you for taking time out also to come here and talk with us. Again, my name is Tim Carter. I'm the Shenandoah County Sheriff, and I hope you'll follow me on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. Thank you all.